Hello everyone, it's a long time no see. Here is Yang Chan's talk. It's Aesop from Yang Chan's Pack in China. Today we'd like to share brief introductions about the single-roll shrink wrapping machines. Regarding these machines, there are the following main parts. The first part shall be the bottle feeding systems, bottle grouping systems, film wrapping systems, heating shrinking systems, air cooling systems, and the last part is the unpowered conveyor. So it's usually used for temporarily storage the finished packages for the manual palletizing. So to understand how does this machine workings, so we needed to move part by part. So the first one is the bottle feeding systems. It means when the bottles coming from the front of the production lines, it means the filling systems and the labeling machines, then it will move to the shrink wrapping. So in this part, there shall be have some bottle dividing plate. It makes the bottles can moving into different lines. So it can be adjusted as we expected. So this is only to make the bottles comes into different lines. So the next part, we need to make the bottles into different groups. To reach this technical process, we have two different methods. The components. The first one is by press plate. It means that in the programs it shall calculate the time, how many seconds it will press the bottles. Then after it's pressed, the other bottles will be moved. Let's say like 4 bottles, then it will be moved up, the bottles comes again and then press. This way is used to finish the bottle groupings. The second bottle grouping method is used the switch doors. It means we have different doors like this. It will be controlled by the PLC to calculate the times. The doors will open or close. In this way, the bottles can mix into different groups. After the bottles goes into different groups as we expected, the next technical process shall be the film wrapping. For the film wrapping, it have the following several main actions. The first one, usually in the pictures we can see that the single roll shrink film will stored in the bottom part of the machine. After that, we can make the films goes through the tension bars. Those bars makes the films tensed tightly properly, not too loose or not too tight. At the upside of this part, we can see these groups. We call it the film. It have two functions. The first one is the film feeding systems. This is used for the motors. Will feed the films into this part. And the second component, we call it film cutting systems. It means when the films arrived at proper positions, and the PLC shall be calculated the length of the film for each pack, like 50 or 60 millimeters. Then it will be cut. In this case, we can get the single piece of the shrink film. When the bottles comes from the when the grouped bottles move up, the films will be out. The bottles will be stand on the shrink film, and at the same time there shall be a film picker bars will pick up the films and wrap the films around. So in these short videos, we can see the exact the actions movement. We can see how does the films can wrapped around the grouped bottles. After it is wrapped with the shrink films, it will be moved into the shrink tunnels. The shrink tunnels we also call heating tunnels. Inside these tunnels, we have the air, hot airs blowing the packages from all the directions. I mean from the front part, the bottom, and also left and right. In this case, the films can be moved to the same direction into the center. So after that, we can get a hole, a beautiful holes after the air cooling, blowing the packages. So that is the main actions and technical processes of how the packaged bottles water finished with the single roll shrink wrapping machines. So that's all for today. So Young Chance Pack always at your side.